Folks, we're just going to jump right into it. Unless you're living under a rock right now, you'll know that are happening in Tokyo. I don't watch usually because I have a very complicated relationship with sports. Let me explain. Growing up in school, I dreaded going to gym class because every single day I would watch two team captains pick person after person after person to be on a team until I was the only one left. And then somebody would finally pick me, but not because they wanted me on their team, but because they had to. And oftentimes I would walk over to that team and I would hear groans and moans and people say, oh great, Spencer's on our team. I guess we're not going to win today. And what that said to me was that I was not an athlete. I didn't have any athletic skills that could contribute to a team to win, whatever it was, even if it was just something basic in school. The only time people wanted me on their team is when we played dodgeball, because I was short and I was small and I was hard to hit. So for the first sort of part of my school career, I thought, I can't be an athlete. Why even be interested in sports? Oh, look at this light. Due to some private lessons, there was a sport that turns out I enjoyed and was pretty good at. And that was swimming. So, I'm with my friend.
I'm Joelle.
Hi, Joelle. This is her gorgeous pool. So we're gonna hang out, enjoy the sun, and do some swimming. Let's get in. Joelle and I are just floating now. Here's what I want to tell you. So I took private swimming lessons as a kid because it was really important that I learned to swim because we used to visit my aunts in Arizona and they had pools and I wanted to be able to swim without floaties. Obviously I'm cheating right now. But it took me a little bit longer to learn how to do it. So we found this amazing teacher who taught me privately. And then as I got a little bit older, I joined like a real sort of like a swimming club, and they had different levels. It was sort of like swimming lessons, but I was the first male in my hometown to pass all of the levels of swimming. Thank you so much. Joe, were you a swimmer in school?
No.
Okay. What sports did you play?
I played tennis, basketball, volleyball. I played everything, but I hate getting in the water when it's cold. Actually, I played in an intramural water polo team in college.
Okay.
I hated it.
Okay, thanks, I hate it. So being the first male to like pass all the levels was pretty amazing, and I got like my picture in the newspaper and all the things. But here's why I'm telling you all of this. It's because for the first time, I recognized that I had some athletic ability. Now, I wasn't into the competition part of things, but I really honed like my swimming strokes and all the things. And that for me was the first time where I understood that, okay, just because I have a disability and lots of people didn't pick me for a team for some of the things in gym, doesn't mean that I'm not an athlete. I'm a bomb-ass athlete and I can swim in the pool instead. Swimming is my sport. So we only get the pool for a specific amount of time, but look at these cute bags that Joelle bought us. Thank you. So I'm gonna go, but thank you so much for the pool time. Bye. So some of you might be thinking, Spencer, that's great. You look like you had a great time swimming with your friend Joelle, and your technique and form with your swimming strokes is damn near perfect. You would be right, thank you. But why should we care about this? Let's go to the couch. So here's the tea. Being forced to participate in a class that wasn't set up for me, and then to be judged not only by my teacher, but my peers, and getting a grade in PE was awful as someone with a physical disability because this wasn't set up for me. And it really took a toll on my self-esteem hearing my peers every single day tell me simply by not choosing me until the end and being forced to have me on their team, as well as like verbally and physically letting me know that they didn't want me on their team was really challenging. And what I also felt a lot of frustration about is that, my gym teachers, for the most part, didn't really do much to adapt the sports to me. I was sort of left on my own to just figure it out as we went. And that was really difficult to put all of that pressure on a young person as well. I did have one amazing gym teacher though. His name was Mr. Erickson, and he worked really hard to incorporate me. I'll never forget, like, when we were doing, like, a volleyball sort of theme for a couple weeks, he would push me in my chair so I could get to the ball fast and hit it with my arms. But that was the only time that I remember having a teacher try to incorporate me, or at least think ahead to all of the things that we were going to be doing. Now, in high school, everything changed because I had the option to take regular gym or I could take swimming because our high school had a pool. And that changed everything for me. Instead of running the mile, we had to tread water for a specific amount of time. And, we did units where we did like canoeing and kayaking. We even did like snorkeling and scuba diving. And these were things that I could physically do. So being able to take, the skills that I learned from the private lessons and sort of the swim club that I had done, and then translate that into like swimming as a class in school, immensely boosted my self-esteem and helped me recognize that I actually did have athletic abilities and that I could bring something to a team, which I think ultimately led me to become a cheerleader, and I've done multiple videos about being a cheerleader, so you can check them out here. But the reason that I'm telling all these things is there are so many barriers as it is for disabled folks. Sports doesn't have to be one of them. And whether you are a educator or whether you're just hanging out with your friends and you want to play sports, think about how you can adapt those sports and include folks with disabilities. We want all the same feelings that you do, that we can contribute to a team, what it's like to win, what it's like to lose together. All those experiences I want too, and I want to be a part of. There's an amazing organization called Move United. They do exactly what I wish would have existed when I was in school. They've created a free playbook for educators, and I think anyone can use it, to be honest, to help incorporate folks with disabilities into sports. We have the Paralympics and all, that's amazing, but that's not for everyone. How do we do this on a daily basis? And I think these are some great examples of, having people nurture me and understand what sports that I was interested in and what I could physically do, and then adapting those. And having those alternative class options in lieu of the traditional, PE or physical education is immensely important, because what all of this does at the end of the day is it tells disabled folks, you matter. You're valuable. We want you here. We want you to participate, and we know that you have gifts and skills to offer an athletic team if that's something that you're interested in. But here's the most important piece. We need you. We need allies to do this work with us. We can't do it by ourselves. So by, adapting this playbook, which I'll put a link in the description below, or including your disabled friends in the sports or activities that you are doing and working together to find a way to include them. That's all we want at the end of the day as human beings and as disabled folks. We want to be able to participate and be viewed just as valuable as non-disabled folks. Okay, that's it. Folks, as always, you're my newest friend. Call me every 5 minutes. Goodbye.